Diershofe, Homestead in Switzerland. Welcome to this movie. I don't know if anybody ever has paid attention to the introduction screen where it says Diershofe, outdoor, whatever, arts and crafts. I have not talked too much about arts and crafts, so I thought today I pick up some old stuff I filmed 2-3 years ago, but I have never published it, and today is today. And you know, I give you a background. Since I'm a boy, I was always interested in history. And when was that? Maybe in the late 90s or so, a trend emerged worldwide, reenactment, living history. So people reconstructing tools, clothes, houses, whatever. So just the culture of our predecessors. And my first love was, still is, the Celts. Celtic tribes, Celtic, not Celtic, Celtic tribes living in Switzerland. I made a lot of reconstruction material. For example, this sword here. A beautiful scabbard made by a friend in France, and following exactly the patterns and the way how to make this, following the finds which we have in Swiss and French museums, and everything as close to the original material as possible. So this is a whole science, studying various sources and understand how did the things, the weapons, the tools look in reality. Sometimes it's not easy because what you find in the ground is rusted, leather has gone, and yeah, it's a challenge. So for example, this leather belt, the whole construction here of how this sword is attached, I took from a peer-reviewed publication from a guy called, I think, von Kennel, a Swiss archaeologist. And the pattern, which I embossed, I don't know if you can see it, the pattern is from another artifact of the same period, not in leather, but if I recall right, engraved in a metal. So this is just an example of living history and reconstructing the lifestyle from the past. So another domain which caught my interest is the American era of fur trade. So the big time of the so-called mountainman, people exploring the Midwest mainly in a search of fur, coming in contact with the Indians. So this was before the Indian Wars. So starting, I don't know, I need to look it up, 1800 something or so, and more or less ended around 1850. And yeah, since we have here in Oberkulm, the small town, village where we live, actually it's Unterkulm, we have a big celebration which is called Old West Unterkulm, and it happens every couple of years, and it's a kind of Western Indian living history, reenactment, fun event where people show up, often dressed in historic costumes, and yeah, it's for the kids. You can buy stuff. There's, for example, locomotive, or there's a horse, a coach, and so it's more, yeah, it's a feast. It's a party for the people here in this community, but they come from far away to visit this. I combine these two things. So since I was interested in that mountain man era, and of course I wanted to also take part in this Old West Oberkulm, rubbish, sorry, Unterkulm, I thought I make myself kind of a buckskin shirt or jacket in the style of the early mountain mans. And here it is. Made of buckskin, applications in glass pearls, application with scalp hair. I will talk in a minute more about this. My daughter also made one. This is not yet finished. She made it simpler. She made it in a way that it could be worn also for fashion. Less fringes, but let's see how she would like to continue this. Now, in this video, I want to tell you how we made this. And it's not so difficult to really execute the work, the stitching and so on, the cutting. It's more about the sources, where to find the materials for this kind of clothing. So I will show a couple of addresses where you can get the materials to make such a thing, and I will describe also the process for you. I have to say, the inspiration for this kind of shirts or jackets were the Indian, the native, the Sioux maybe warshirts, Lakota warshirts, done in buckskin leather, beautiful applications of glass pearls and fringes and hair. So I talked about reenactment. So I'm not a Lakota warrior or something like this. No. In reenactment, you choose, or in living history, you choose a persona, which is kind of the target of what you want to achieve. And my persona, my target would be a mountain man living around 1820 or something like this, and being married to a native woman. And yes, that happened quite often. And of course the native women, they were skilled in the art of making such a beautiful buckskin garment, and they made it for their white husbands. If you Google that, you will find a lot of inspiration. And I made myself a Pinterest site. I will give you the link, where I collected inspiration for this very shirt. Okay, enough talking. let's go to the process itself. It's first getting the material. And here are some of the sources. It should be only an inspiration. The ones I posted, I have personal experience with them, and yeah, they are serious, I guess. Especially Hudson's Bay, a German provider, is absolutely, I think, it's absolutely great service they provide. Very important also is that you get the pattern. The pattern, how to cut the pieces of buckskin, and I ordered them via Amazon in patterns from American pioneer times. The pattern you receive on the paper, you have to cut it out in the right size, and then to fix the pieces to the buckskin with needles, pins, and then draw along the outline with a soft pencil. I used a brown pencil, which gives you in a later step the guideline to cut the pieces out. The type of leather used here is called Sämisch leather in German. I will post the best English translation if I find it. So this is a deer skin tanned in the old way, so with brain and fat, I guess, and this in German is called Sämisch leather. So it's very soft, it's thick, it has a fantastic, pleasant feel on the skin. So you cut all the pieces out, and then the stitching starts. The stitching is quite a lot of work. I show you here the way we stitched it, and for us it was easier. I mean, by the way, that's the way we did it. It's the first time I did it. There might be better ways. There might be, other ways to do it more efficient. But since I did not find on whole YouTube a convincing video clip of making such a jacket, you find very simple buckskin shirts or stuff like that, but not a work like this with applications and some more advanced features I'm going to show you also in a moment. So the stitching, we used a nail to pre-punch the holes in a defined distance. There's a little tool for that, a little wheel which makes you marks in equal distance. So we punched them with a nail, and then we stitched it with a very strong yarn. You do not want to do this with something cheapish, so we used really heavy yarn for that. We actually used a lot of, I think, yarns which are made for bowstrings. Okay. So a couple of stuff is still missing. This is a running project. I will add scalp tassels. Is that the right word, the right pronunciation? I don't know. Let me show you a tassel. This is one. Look at this. So it has here a small cone in a metal and then a scalp. I don't know, tassel. So the hair, this is the remainder of a scalp of some tourists here close by. Kidding! It's artificial hair, I guess for extensions, ordered over Amazon. And I have plenty of this. Yes, and you work this into these tassels. I've shown you one. Here's another one. Here is one. Let's take one a different color. Brownish. Here. Oh, it's a bit messy. Yeah, this stuff here is idle for quite a long time. So this tassels would go on the sleeves of the jacket. Then I have here a lot of glass beads, different yarns. I even bought some special scissors for hair. This is some of the heavy bowstring yarn, waxed, we were using. And we have different variations of this. Synthetic ones, but we used a lot also natural ones. A lot of glass beads, buffalo horn beads, natural mussels or snails, which were used a lot. So coming towards the end, some more comments. You see, I mean, the whole thing looks very new because, yeah, this is more or less unused leather. And if you use it, if I would use this in daily life, it would become much more grayish, much more, we'll get a lot of patina. So what we are known from images from Native American. But sometimes you see also somebody wearing proudly a very new made vest or jacket like this, and then you see the original bright clean color. So the darker hue I gave here on top of this one, you do by earth pigments. So it's really pigment powder, natural ones. You massage into the leather. You spread it. I used a small kind of brush, and you massage it into the leather. Yeah, it sticks more or less, but it comes off and colors other stuff. So you have to keep this in a way separate. You see the applications which I have, like this rosette or those beautiful what are they called? I don't know. You can buy them prefabricated. Of course, if you want to do them yourself, that's even better. But I bought them. Here the knobs I made out of deer horn, very simple a fabrication. And this application here is red felt, which I took from one of the images I found on YouTube from a pony shirt. Basically, that's it. As I said, I will add in a next step the scalp tassels to the sleeves. Yeah, then it's pretty much done. So I hope I have given you some inspiration how to do such a beautiful shirt. Let's put it on. It really feels great. It feels great. Yeah, and I'm still not too fat. Where's the top lace here? That's it, folks, for today. Hope I inspired you to become creative, and see you next time. Cheers.